Back in the day, I took piano lessons for a really long time, and I was taught a lot of really good things about how to read music, but I was never taught how to just sit down at the piano and play for fun. So when I finally figured out improvising, I realized I didn't always just want to stay in the key of C, which are all of the notes between C and C, and the white notes. So if you've ever wanted to play in a different key other than C and just sit down and make some beautiful music, this is the perfect video for you. So we're going to be going through the circle of fifths, which is a tool that we use to go through all of the different keys in the piano, both major and minor. For today, we're going to be doing the third stop in the circle of fifths, which is the key of D major. Make sure to check out my other video linked below of playing in the key of G, which is one with one sharp. I'm wondering if you took piano lessons like me and were ever taught how to improvise, because that was a brand new concept when I became an adult, of how to sit down at the piano and just play. Let me know in the comments below if this is a new concept for you or if this is something that you learned in your own piano lessons. Today we're going to be playing in the key of D, which is all of the notes between D and D. But the two notes that you need to remember are F and C. So these two notes are the two that we're going to call the lava notes. Like the floor is lava, do not touch those notes. Instead, we're going to play one note to the right, which makes it a sharp. And in this case, for an F, we're going to play an F sharp. And for a C, we're going to play a C sharp. So we play white notes until we get to the F, skip the F, go to the F sharp, and then more white notes until we get to the C, skip the C, play the C sharp, and D. So it's like this. Using one finger, I'm going to play the D scale up. Here we go. F sharp, and then coming back down. So remember, when we are improvising melodies, whatever key we're in, which in this case is the key of D major, you need to always begin and end on a D to make it sound like your piece has come home. So we're going to try a little melody out and try to just stay within this octave and not pop all over the piano, because melodies tend to be all within the same place. So let's make a little melody beginning and ending on D. And you can try that as many times as you want to until you find a melody that you like and makes you happy. So then once we have figured out what the key of D means, never playing an F, never playing a C, we're going to now look at the major chords in the key of D. So we start on a D, and I'll do this with my left hand. This is the hand that is going to be playing the chords in our accompaniment when we put our two hands together. So we start with our 5 finger or our pinky on D, and then we go a third up from there. Now a third up would be an F, but we don't hit the F, we hit an F sharp. Okay? And then from the D, a fifth up from a D is an A. So our first chord is a D, F sharp, A. And we play that with our 5 finger, 3 finger, and 1 finger. Then, to play our 4 chord, which comes next, that is a G chord, doing an inversion of the G chord. So our 2 finger is already on G, and our 5 finger is on D, and we need to move our thumb up 1 to a B. So now practice moving between a 1 chord and a 4 chord. Do that several times until you feel comfortable. And now we're going to add our last major chord, which is a 5/7 chord. So we already have our 1 and our 2 finger on G and A. And then we're going to slide in. This is called the board of the piano. We're sliding towards the board of the piano because we want our pinky or our 5 finger to go on this C sharp at the bottom. If you're down here, you're not going to be able to reach it with your pinky. So we slide up a little bit this way so that you can reach C sharp with our pinky. So this is C sharp, G, and A. And now practice switching back and forth between those 3 chords. So here's our 1 chord, 4 chord, slide, 5/7 chord, and always end back on the 1 chord. So after you've practiced that a few times, slide, 1. It's now time to put it together with a melody in our right hand. If that seems a little bit daunting, we're going to think of 4 beats at a time. So we're going to hit a chord with our left hand for 1 beat, and then 3 notes with our right hand for the next 3 beats to start out. So let's start out with just our 1 chord in our left hand, and then 3 more beats with our right hand. Something like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, like that. So now let's go between our different major chords in our left hand, doing 1 beat and 3 beats here, and try that out to begin. And always end on your 1 chord, which is your D, F sharp, A, and your D. Once you become familiar with that, we're now going to allow our hand to kind of do what we were doing before, where you go between the octave of the D and the D. So you don't have to stay in this 5-finger pattern, okay? If you decide to use your pedal, it's going to help you as well. So you can put your pedal down and it blurs the sound together just for a little bit of a different sound. So now let's try a little melody in between using these chords. Learning to play in a new key can be kind of intimidating, but it's not difficult if you know exactly which keys to skip. And in this case, that is F and C. If you think of them like lava notes or notes that you should not ever hit, it becomes a lot easier. Practicing in the key of D will open up a whole new world of being able to play with different keys and also being able to play with chord charts in the key of D. Stick with me, and I will show you all of the different keys on the piano eventually. And I'll show you how to play and improvise in those keys, as well as recognize different chords when you're playing with chord charts. Keep practicing. Let me know how I can help.